Right, I'm back again, man in the van. As you can see, I've got a guest. We're at Maxxis at the British Championship here at Foxhill, round 7, I think we're at. Josh Gilbert, I'll introduce your day on behalf of you, okay? Rode a stormer in that first race to come through. Anyway, you explain, but you obviously had to hunt down. You got 2 hard pack tracks to finish off the season, trying to get this championship done. You rolled the dice a bit today, but unfortunately it didn't go your way. So just sort of run us through your 2 motos.
I mean, even qualifying as well. I poled qualifying, which I don't think I've done this season yet. And then yeah, Moto 1. I got a little bit boxed in off the start, and I managed to actually make up some good ground in the first 2 turns. I think I was about 7 going around first turn.
Yeah, you were quite a ways back.
Yeah, and then by the second turn I got to 3rd. But the 2 that was in front of me was the 2 I needed to beat. So I kind of sat there for a little bit and got comfortable. They were pushing each other. Yeah, and then sort of I found my feet. I got right onto the back end of them, and then yeah, I picked them both off. But Dylan come back at me straight away. Which then I was like, oh man, I've got to do it all over again.
I'll tell you what, I know you were throwing everything at it. For a neutral, it was a great race because you obviously worked so hard to get into the lead because you were all getting a lick on. I mean, you 3 were way ahead, but then of course when he came back at you, you had to start the whole defensive thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You were doing your best to keep him behind.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get close quite a bit actually. But yeah, he managed to get back behind me again, and then I had to do it again. Oh, it's just kept going backwards and forwards. I mean, it was probably pretty good to watch.
Oh, it's great to watch. I mean, you were probably hating life, but it was brilliant.
Yeah, the last half a lap, I thought, well, I got to get it done now.
Yeah.
So I knew where I was going to do it. I got right on the back end of him. I went down the inside on the last hill and got up and underneath him. But he kind of bobbled and went off track. But as he come back on, he got all squirrely in front of me, and I ended up hitting his back end. So killed all my momentum throughout the hill. And yeah,
you knew that was coming at that point. I think I could tell by your body language. You knew that Osterlin had the run off the corner and was just going to sail by.
I was that slow going up the hill because I had no momentum. I didn't know which way he was going to come from because he had like the whole track to pick from. So it was so annoying. I went from like 1st to 3rd in a lap. Especially
when you're hunting down because you need the points. But you, like I said, you rolled the dice. You had to try and do something there, and it actually cost you a position because of it. And then the second moto, I think it was the same hill, wasn't it? That you had on the first lap. You didn't make a good start again. And I mean, you picked off some riders in that first half of lap, mind. You could see the frustration, thinking I've got to at least come out over here with 1 race win. Yeah, I think I actually gated worse in the second one. I can't remember what I was, probably 6th or 7th was I, and I just went to pass a rider underneath, and he kind of had, as I went up and underneath, he had nowhere to go to put like the foot, and he just ended up falling onto me, and then we both ended up falling down, and the bike tumbled over me, and I burnt my arm a little bit, but I'll explain. Obviously, I'm not going to get Josh to strip off now, but the roost here is bad enough anyway. Underneath that rather cool Honda hoodie there, you've been in a race today. You're marked up everywhere, burns and batters, bruises. It's a tough place, Foxhill, isn't it? It's unforgiving because of the pace. I know hard pack's your thing, but it's almost like more road racing, Foxhill. I always think like when you make a mistake, the margins between you are so much. Yeah, it's so hard to claw that back again.
Yeah. I mean, I actually thought the track was a lot better today.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
It was pretty good. I think the improvements that they've done, or the changes they made, is massive improvement. I mean,
well, that's good because it slowed it down a little bit, and it looked like it generated a few more lines as well.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the way that we was passing in the first one, there's definitely passing places, and well, I had to come from last. So, was I last?
You were virtually last. In fact, Dickinson was still behind you on the floor. That's by the way Ashton who he collided with. But then you was a long way back. So come through eating all that roost.
Yeah, I mean, I had a couple good little passing places, which I knew if I got onto the back of them just before that bit, then.
And then the last 5, I guess fitness, because you guys running near the front as well. That's when you really started to pick off a lot of the riders those last few laps.
I've been feeling I tried this something new a few sort of month ago, and I found that it kind of wasn't really working for me, so I've gone back to how
Right.
it was. And I think now, like at the end then, I just put the hammer down and I was trying so hard to get on the back of Martin. I think I was taking probably 3 or 4 seconds
It's
out
interesting
of him,
you say that, because that to me, that just sums up, for those people that don't know, the effort that goes in to try and find the magic formula to win.
Yeah.
So you tried something else mid-season training-wise, hasn't worked, so you've gone back, and all these little things that people don't see. It's like, it's hard to win any race, but at this level, obviously, the competition's so tough.
Yeah.
So, you know, the championship is still mathematically doable, I suppose, but it's a long shot.
Yeah, it is
Real long
just a
shot.
little bit.
But, you know, you're going to finish this season at your, what we call your hometown track, certainly the one nearest to you. You know, you've ridden around Landrake many times, so you know that would be a good way to end. Obviously you'll want to go there and win, but you'll have a lot of support, a lot of family and friends out, so you've got to be looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been driving stupid hours really all year.
You don't live in the best place of the part of the UK to race motocross, really.
No,
Down
so,
in Cornwall.
Yeah, to drive half hour, it's going to be nice.
Yeah, sleep in your own bed and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be good. Well, listen, mate, we wish you the best of luck there. Get yourself all repaired, you know, the best you can, because I say nasty burn and all the bruise and whatever. But go and lick your wounds, as it was. But, you know, mate, you rolled the dice, you give it your best shot, and at least you can walk away from here knowing that you definitely give that.
Yeah, I try my best. So
Yeah,
that's all
that's
I
it.
had.
Mate, get on the road. Good to see you.
cheers.
We'll see you at Landrake. All the best. There you go. That's Josh Gilbert. He's on his way home now to patch himself up. Right, I'm going to carry on. See you later, mate. So yeah, basically, let's talk about this round 7 of the Maxxis British Championship. We were graced with good weather, not leading up to it, but that helped the track. I think it would have been a bit more difficult for them to walk the track. Although, to be fair, they did have a full watering system put in. So they were obviously prepared for that. But the rain that we had and the wind, the track came good. And that's the first person all day, because I've been watching the racing and not actually talking to a lot of the riders. So it was good to hear the first feedback on the new track. So obviously when you look at it, you can stand on the side and say, oh, that looks kind of cool. But until you actually ride it, so from a top rider to say that they preferred the new layout and there was lines, and the racing in the MX2 in particular showed that there was probably more racing going on today than we've seen at Foxhill for a very long time. So credit to the organising team and the club and the ACU for that. So that's a step forward. Regards of the actual Maxxis British Championship and crowd attendance, obviously Hawkstone was a low point. I don't think anybody would argue that. So there was more people here today, so that was a good step forward. Let's see what happens at Landrake, of course, when they're mixing the British Youth Nationals Championship with the Maxxis, to see how all that pans out. I've got no idea the schedule, how it's going to work, but obviously a lot of racing to fit in over that weekend. But that could be the future. I'm not saying it definitely is. Of putting the kids together to get more people coming out to watch a Maxxis British Championship, more people coming through the gate, and families and riders. Obviously this debate will rumble on. There's loads, everybody's got an opinion, but I think for us to go forward with the sport in general, not just the ACU, just everybody, you know, we need to maybe have that big sort of just get together where everybody, an open meeting maybe, where everybody can just genuinely be invited along if they share an interest and want to see the sport improve and have their say. And I think that's the only way we can do it, because obviously there's a lot of series, there's a lot going on. I think that has a profound effect, knock-on effect with the Maxxis British Championship. Obviously there's a lot of injuries in MX2 at the minute, so we're light there as well, which doesn't help. But on a whole, today was, you know, better than Hawkstone regards of footfall and atmosphere and people through the gate, so that was encouraging. Landrake we'll have to wait and see how that goes. So regards of the racing today, in MX1 Sean Simpson did what he had to do. 2 sluggish starts for Sean. I just heard him say actually behind the podium that he's got to work with his bike and his team a little bit more. There's a bit of a bog with his motor, so he's not getting the greatest starts, but once he got rolling he clearly went 1-1. Tommy Searle, damage limitation. He had a 49-point lead coming in today, but he just had to play it safe with his ribs, etc. And that's exactly what he did, basically. He settled really for 3rd overall in the end. He didn't put up any fight against Sean and those guys when they come by. Harry Koulas, he ended up finishing 2nd today. He was motoring in that second race, really getting a lick on. And by the way, Harry, thanks for coming down to our Rocket Till Sundown event. That was great. I'll sort you out your prize money soon, because he went off without collecting it. And then I forgot it. Blimey. Anyway, that's by the by. Harry had a great ride on the Cabs Green Dios Honda. And then in MX2, it was the Revo show with basically Josh Gilbert getting in amongst them in the first moto. You've heard Josh's description of the first moto. It was really exciting. It was good racing. You know, he came all the way up, got into the lead, and ended up finishing third. But Walsh just was super aggressive, and both times held off Josh and Oslin. Elvin Oslin really put the hammer down. And to be fair, if you look at the lap times, Walsh only won each race by less than a second, I think. But at the same time, he toughed it out and dug deep and got it over the line just ahead of those guys. So Oslin coming second, and then Martin Barr with a real solid but distant third place. Basically, the two Revo riders were way ahead on track, but Martin with his Crescent Yamaha putting it on the box. So yeah, a good day at Foxhill. It's always nice to come back to this place, and as we said, it's nice to see that more effort basically has been put into the venue. I'll wait to see the full rider feedback on it, but on a whole, it seems like the improvements or the changes made have been an improvement, so that's encouraging. So let's see if we're back here again next year. Hope we are. And that's it really. I've got the MX Nationals coming up at Cuss's 2 weeks time, and then Landrake. So I'll be back at Cuss's to give you a rundown of what happened there for the Michelin MX Nationals. Of course, we've got the straight ribbon thing going on in the evening, so I'm going to be interested to see how that all works out. That would be cool. And in the meantime, that's it. I'm not going to waffle on about GPs or anything. I think I'll save that for another day and all the nations pick and whatever. I did speak to Mark Chamberlain earlier on, but he was very tight-lipped, so still don't know the team for the nations. But I'm sure by the time I do an X-Man in a van, that'll all be announced. So we'll talk about nations and GPs next time out. Right, that's it. I'm going to go and stuff my fat face with some junk food and then get on home and then probably have a bottle of wine. Not a bottle. Christ, what am I saying? A glass. To unwind. Right, I'll see you next time out. Laters. Out of here.